The galactic empire of Velthar stretched across thousands of light years. Its armies were strong, its technology unmatched, and its rulers proud. For centuries, the Velthar had crushed every species that stood in their path. They believed no planet, no race, and no creature in the galaxy could stop them. But that belief was about to change. It began with a signal. A faint data pulse was detected near the edge of the Orion Arm, an old transmission, weak but repeating. It came from a small blue planet circling a yellow star. The planet's name, translated by machines, was Earth. The Velthar High Council gathered in their grand chamber of glass and silver. The Emperor, Tareth Velthar, looked down at the floating hologram of the planet. Oceans, clouds, green land masses, it looked peaceful, harmless. A pre-warp civilization, said Minister Herrick, his voice confident. No shields, no interstellar engines. Easy to conquer, the Emperor nodded slowly. We need resources. That world looks rich in water and minerals. Send a survey fleet. The order was signed instantly. Within a day, an exploration armada of 2,000 ships prepared for the journey. They called it Operation Dawnfall, a name meant to show the Empire's strength. Before departure, strange warnings came. The Velthar received encrypted messages from nearby systems, the Korthi, the Yoro, and the Tarlans, all powerful civilizations in their own regions. Every message said the same thing in different ways. Do not go to Earth. Stay away from the Sol system. You cannot imagine what lives there. The Emperor's court laughed. To them, this was superstition, a trick by weak races to keep the Velthar away from some secret treasure. Admiral Rethkar, commander of the fleet, smirked as he reviewed the warnings. Fear makes fools of them all, he said. We are the Velthar. We do not fear primitive worlds. The fleet departed in a blaze of light. Thousands of engines roared through hyperspace, forming a line of silver across the stars. To the Velthar, this was just another conquest. One more name to add to their long list of victories. After 6 weeks in hyperspace, the fleet arrived in the Sol system. The first view of Earth filled the screens, blue, white, and green spinning silently in the dark. Rethkar leaned forward, studying it. So this is the cursed world, he said with a smirk. Looks harmless enough. Sensors scanned every continent, ocean, and city. The reports were confusing. The planet was full of technology, but primitive. Humans used combustion engines, rockets, and metal aircraft. They had satellites, but nothing close to warp drives. They are children playing with toys, said Commander Track. They won't even see us coming. Yet there was something odd. The electromagnetic spectrum around Earth was alive, billions of signals from radio to data transmissions. Human communication filled every frequency, so thick that even Velthar sensors had trouble reading through the noise. Their planet is loud, muttered a technician. It's like they're talking to themselves all the time. Rethkar only laughed. It will make no difference. Begin approach. The first ships entered low orbit. From above, Earth's light sparkled against the darkness. The fleet spread out like a metal storm, forming an invasion ring. But before they could fire or send landing pods, every human satellite in orbit turned all at once to face the alien ships. The Velthar bridge crew froze. Is that intentional? An officer asked. Dozens of satellites, thousands of kilometers apart, had changed their direction in perfect synchronization. Then they started transmitting in hundreds of languages at once, a single repeating message, converted automatically into Velthar speech. Leave this system immediately. The Admiral frowned. They dare to threaten us? No one answered. Moments later, Earth's entire communication network seemed to light up. Television signals, radio waves, internet traffic. It all shifted into one synchronized pulse. The Velthar fleet sensors began to flicker. Power readings spiked. Something invisible spread across the system. An energy wave, silent and fast. Every ship's lights dimmed. Engines dropped to standby. Navigation flickered, showing impossible coordinates. For 2 full seconds, the Velthar fleet was blind. When systems came back online, chaos erupted. Weapons were offline. Shields were unstable. Half the fleet had drifted thousands of kilometers off formation. What just happened? Rethkar demanded. The engineers worked furiously. Unknown interference, Admiral. Not natural. It came from the planet. How? The Admiral roared. They don't even have warp technology. No one had an answer. Then a voice came through the comms, calm, clear, and human. This is Commander Reynolds of the Terran Defense Command. You are trespassing in restricted space. Turn back now. The bridge went silent. Rethkar clenched his fists. How are they speaking, Veltharan? We can translate faster than you think, the voice replied. This is your first and only warning. The line went dead. Rethkar laughed, but uneasily this time. They are bluffing. Prepare for orbital bombardment. The fleet powered its plasma cannons and aimed at major cities: New York, Beijing, Moscow, and others. The order was given, but when the first ship fired, the energy bolt vanished in mid-space, absorbed by nothing. No explosion, no damage. Just gone, sensors screamed. A new reading appeared. A transparent dome surrounding Earth, faintly glowing with blue light. Planetary shields, shouted a technician. But it's impossible. They had nothing like this. Rethkar's laughter died. Continue firing! Dozens of ships released their volleys. Every beam, every missile, every plasma round disappeared into the shield without effect. The energy readings didn't even drop. It's like the planet itself is eating the attacks, whispered Commander Track. The Admiral felt a chill crawl down his spine. Impossible. They cannot have such power. Then came the next surprise. On the far side of the moon, 100 small ships appeared, black and angular, gliding silently. Their engines were invisible to sensors. They moved faster than any Velthar ship could track. Unknown craft approaching, cried a sensor officer. The ships darted toward the fleet like shadows. No energy weapons were detected, but one by one, Velthar ships went dark, disabled without explosions, their systems fried by invisible strikes. Rethkar watched as his formation broke apart. Return fire, he shouted, but targeting systems wouldn't lock on. The mysterious human ships kept blinking out of scanners, reappearing behind Velthar vessels, striking again and again. Within minutes, 20 ships were lost. Admiral, they are disrupting our networks. Our mainframe is being hacked. Rethkar slammed his claws against the console. How? Their technology is primitive. On the main screen, the face of Commander Reynolds appeared again. He looked calm, wearing a dark uniform with a small Earth emblem. His expression carried neither hatred nor fear. We warned you, he said. Now you will learn why the galaxy fears us. Then the transmission cut out, and the black ships began their second wave of attacks. This time, the humans used gravity weapons, devices that created invisible wells of pressure. Entire Velthar cruisers twisted in space, crushed under their own mass. Others vanished into miniature singularities. The Admiral could barely speak. This cannot be real. He ordered a retreat, but hyperspace drives failed to engage. Every escape attempt ended in system errors. It was as if the humans controlled the very fabric of space around them. Hours passed, and the Velthar fleet continued to fall. Ships burned, shattered, or disappeared. The once proud armada of 2,000 vessels was being reduced to wreckage by a planet they had called primitive. On the bridge of his flagship, Rethkar stared at Earth on the main screen. The planet looked calm, almost peaceful even as fire raged above its skies. He whispered, "What kind of monsters live there?" No one answered. Suddenly every screen flickered again. The same message appeared in bright white letters. You were warned. And then the fleet's sensors detected something massive. An object rising from beneath the Pacific Ocean. It was larger than a city, shaped like a dark pyramid, breaking the surface with waves that circled the globe. Its energy signature was beyond measurement. A fortress, gasped Track. No, it's a ship. The colossal structure floated upward into space, water cascading off its hull. No thrusters, no visible weapons. Yet the sheer presence made every Velthar officer go silent. Rethkar could feel it. This was the true defender of Earth. Then a voice, deep and powerful, echoed through every comm system in the fleet. Leave now. This is your final chance. Rethkar felt anger rise. Fire everything. We are Velthar. We will not retreat before a lesser race. Thousands of weapons fired at once, but none hit. The pyramid ship simply absorbed the attacks. Then with a single pulse of blue light, it sent out a shockwave. Every Velthar ship was pushed away violently, spinning into space. Systems failed, engines died, and silence filled the void. Only Rethkar's flagship remained functional, drifting helplessly. Admiral, whispered his second-in-command, what are they? Rethkar looked at the blue planet glowing in the darkness. His voice was low, something the galaxy fears for a reason. He finally gave the order he had never given before. Retreat. Mark this system as forbidden. As his ship turned away, the giant human vessel sank back into the ocean, leaving no trace. The shield around Earth flickered once and vanished. For a moment, it was as if nothing had happened at all. In the days that followed, the surviving Velthar ships limped home through hyperspace. Many had lost communication and others never returned. The Velthar fleet returned home in silence. Out of 2,000 ships, only a few hundred survived. Every survivor carried the same expression: shock, disbelief, and fear. The mighty Velthar Empire, known for conquering stars, had been defeated by a planet that was supposed to be primitive. Admiral Rethkar walked through the halls of the Imperial Palace on Velthara Prime with slow, heavy steps. Around him, courtiers and generals whispered in disbelief as they saw the once proud warrior looking older and broken. He entered the Grand Chamber. Emperor Tareth Velthar sat on a high throne, surrounded by shimmering banners of gold and black. The court was full. No one dared to speak until Rethkar bowed. "Rise, Admiral," said the Emperor, his voice echoing. "You were gone many cycles. Tell us why our fleet did not return in glory." Rethkar looked up, his eyes dark. "We were defeated, my lord." "By Earth," gasps filled the chamber. "Defeated? By a pre-warp world?" sneered Minister Herrick. "You expect us to believe that?" Rethkar placed a small device on the floor. A hologram flickered to life, showing the battle. The human ships, the planetary shield, the black pyramid rising from the ocean. The court watched in silence as the entire Velthar fleet was torn apart. When the recording ended, no one spoke. Finally, the Emperor whispered, "What? Are they?" Rethkar shook his head slowly. "I do not know, my Emperor. But whatever they are not what they appear to be. Humans have power unlike anything we've ever seen. They control the battlefield with machines that think faster than we do. They speak every language. They knew we were coming." "You mean they predicted us?" "Yes, they hacked into our systems before we even entered orbit. It was as if they had studied us already." The Emperor's eyes narrowed. How could a planet with no warp capability possess such technology? "I believe," Rethkar said quietly, "they hide their true strength. The galaxy thinks they are weak because that's what they want us to believe." The court fell silent again. The Emperor rose slowly from his throne. "Then we will not approach them again. Issue a new command. No Velthar ship is to enter the Sol system. Ever." The order was given that day and spread across the Empire like a storm. But rumors traveled faster than orders. Within weeks, every major civilization in the galaxy knew what had happened. The whispers began in shadowed trading ports, then in military briefings, and soon even in schools. The Velthar tried to invade Earth. They didn't come back. The humans stopped them with invisible weapons. The story changed with every retelling, growing larger and more mysterious. Some said humans used black holes as shields. Others claimed they could control gravity or time itself. Whatever the truth was, one thing remained clear. The Velthar Empire had been humbled, and fear spread faster than light. The Council of the Nine far across the stars, a secret gathering of the 9 oldest civilizations, took place in a hidden station, orbiting a red dwarf star. The council was made of ancient species, those who had seen wars, empires, and the rise and fall of galaxies. Among them were the Korthi, who had warned the Velthar not to go. Their leader, High Scholar Enva, spoke first. "So it happened again," she said. "Another empire has learned the truth the hard way." A large creature from the Drellin Union rumbled in agreement. "I warned them. I told them the humans were off limits." A smaller being, the Yoro ambassador, adjusted his translator. "Perhaps it is time we stop whispering and start explaining. The younger species deserve to know why Earth is forbidden." Enva nodded. "They will not believe us. They never do until they see it themselves." The Drellin leaned forward. "Then let them learn. But we must record the truth again, before the next fool decides to test them." The lights dimmed and a large star map appeared. In the center was the Sol system, glowing softly. Around it were dozens of warning markers. Enva looked at it with sorrow. Humans once tried to reach the stars. Long ago they were explorers, dreamers. But something changed. They disappeared from open space thousands of years ago, yet somehow, they never stopped watching. Back on Earth, The hidden Terran Defense Command base beneath the Pacific Ocean, Commander Reynolds stood before a vast display showing the Sol system. The Velthar fleet's retreat was long over, but he knew their story would spread far beyond. "So they finally understand," said his second-in-command, Colonel Imani. Reynolds nodded. "They will. But more will come one day. Curiosity is strong out there. We should have destroyed them completely," Imani said. "It would have been easier." Reynolds turned toward her, his expression calm. "We don't destroy unless we must. The lesson is more powerful when it's remembered, not erased." He walked to the main window. Outside, deep under the ocean, massive metal structures glowed faintly. Hundreds of human ships rested in their docks, silent and hidden.
"How long can we keep the secret?"
Imani asked. "As long as it takes," Reynolds replied. "Let them think we are sleeping. Let them fear the dream." The Velthar's doubt months passed. The Emperor could not sleep. The vision of the blue planet haunted him. He ordered his scholars to study everything about ancient Earth legends. They searched old data archives, captured alien stories and forbidden histories. Finally, one scholar came forward, a quiet man named Drin Malen. He presented a strange theory to the Emperor. "My Emperor," he said, "the humans we saw are not the same as those in our ancient records." "What do you mean?" Drin showed images, old records of early contact reports thousands of years old. "In those, humans were primitive and weak, still bound to their small world. But the humans we faced," Drin continued, "had knowledge far beyond us. Their ships defied physics. Their shields used energy forms that do not exist in any science we know. They have evolved or become something else entirely." The Emperor frowned. "Are you saying they are not natural?" Drin hesitated. "Perhaps they were once like us. But after countless wars they might have changed, merged with machines or learned to harness powers we do not understand. Maybe they left the galaxy and returned only to guard their home." The Emperor stared into the distance. "And the others feared them because they remember." "Yes," said Drin softly. "The galaxy remembers what humans once did. Old memories centuries ago. Long before the current empires existed, there had been a great war, the Celestial Conflict, where an unknown race wiped out entire armadas across 10 sectors. Many believed it was a myth. But now old data fragments began to match. The mysterious enemy that destroyed the Xylan Armada long ago used weapons identical to those the humans used against the Velthar. The realization spread through every major government. Humans were not new. They were ancient, and they had never truly left. The return of the signal 1 year after the Velthar defeat. Deep space sensors in a dozen systems detected something strange. A signal traveling through subspace. Repeating every 10 hours, it was short, calm, and clear. "Do not approach Sol, the Guardians are awake." The signal came from nowhere and everywhere at once. Some thought it was a warning sent by the humans themselves. Others believed it was automatic, a defense system spread through ancient satellites. No one dared to find out, even pirates and scavengers who drifted too close to the outer solar border disappeared without a trace. Their ships were later found months later, floating empty, untouched but lifeless. The fear spreads. The Velthar Empire changed after that. Their expansion slowed. Their armies became cautious. They built a new law. No ship shall enter Sol or any region claimed by Earth. Other civilizations followed. Soon, the galactic maps displayed a new kind of zone, a silent circle around the solar system. No one went near it. No one wanted to. Children were told stories of the blue planet of shadows. Merchants whispered that humans could appear anywhere, any time, to punish those who broke the old warnings. And in every academy, cadets were taught a simple truth. Power is not always loud. Sometimes it hides behind silence. Back on Earth again, Commander Reynolds stood at the viewing deck of the ocean base once more. Earth's night sky was calm. He looked upward, knowing that millions of eyes across the galaxy feared what they didn't understand. Colonel Imani joined him. The Velthar Empire has stopped expanding. The message worked. Reynolds smiled faintly. Fear is more effective than destruction. Do you think they'll ever come back? He shook his head. Not soon. But someday another curious race will try. When that happens, we'll be ready again. He placed his hand on the glass. The lights of cities shimmered through the ocean waves above. We protect our world quietly. Let the galaxy think we sleep. That's how we survive. Behind him, the command screen showed dozens of human ships in deep space, cloaked and silent. Their mission: watch, listen, and guard. The final revelation. Many light years away, in a ruined archive hidden under the frozen moon of Traynor, a forgotten recording was discovered by explorers. The voice was old and human. To whoever finds this, know that humanity once reached the stars. We built, we fought, we fell. We hid our strength so others could live in peace. But if anyone threatens Earth again, they will see that peace has a guardian. The explorers who found the message never shared it. They simply left it there, sealed again, and marked the place with a warning: do not disturb the guardians. Epilogue: the legacy of Earth years later. The galaxy changed forever. Wars ended faster, diplomacy grew stronger, and expansion slowed. Everyone remembered the fate of the Velthar. Yet none truly understood